All right. Thank you so much for joining us today for Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am music producer Achickwitbeatz.
And entrepreneur Breezy Gipson here.
And we're glad that you tuned in to hang out with us once again. Super huge shout out to our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Atlanta, Georgia. And wherever you're listening to us, we definitely appreciate you. You're the reason why we do this. And, we really appreciate the feedback we've been getting and the support that we've gotten from you. It means the world to us, truly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I concur.
Yeah, and so now I think it's about time we go ahead and kick off the first episode of the new year. What do you think?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson on Music Marvels Radio Show. Hey, family, this is Breezy Gipson, social media influencer. If you're an aspiring artist, or if you're a seasoned professional music artist, and you have a music video that you want to share with a global television audience, your search is over. Whether it's jazz, rock, hip hop, Latino, gospel, pop music, country, house, techno, reggae, Hispanic, and other genres, this is the right spot. Whether you're located in the United States, Europe, Africa, South America, India, Mexico, Asia, Australia, Italy, or other countries, we got you covered. Contact me at getsparksnow@gmail.com. That's GETSPARKXNOW@gmail.com, or leave me a message at 678-632-2620. Let's get it together.
Hey, this is Achickwitbeatz. I am a multi-genre music producer and strategist to indie artists and labels. Visit my website, Achickwitbeatz.com, for resources for artists and instrumentals available in various genres for songs, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, themes, TV, film, commercials, and more. Once again, that's Achickwitbeatz.com, ACHICKWITBEATZ. Let's make something happen. All right, we're back with music industry news. Man, New York has basically suing SiriusXM for allegedly trapping consumers in unwanted subscriptions. So, I mean, it's just a wild thing to have to get sued for. You think about all the money that they pour into like marketing and promotion and all that good stuff. And then, they just choose to try to trap customers. So the Attorney General's investigation revealed that based on the company's data, so it's not like they're getting it from someplace else, but from actually SiriusXM, canceling via phone takes an average of 11.5 minutes, while trying to cancel online averages 30 minutes, and occasionally takes significantly longer. In one specific instance, involved a subscriber spending 40 minutes in an online chat despite repeated requests to cancel. So when I came across this story, Breezy, and I hope that I'm not dating myself too much for any of our younger listeners out there, but it reminded me of trying to cancel cable back in the day. Half the time you couldn't do it. You'd be on the phone forever, and then you end up with more channels than what you had before you even called instead of getting rid of it.
Yeah, well, truth be told, about 7 months ago, I ran into that with an automobile insurance info situation where all I was trying to do was add my checking account onto the website. So, pay my bill like that. Couldn't do it. I mean, come on. It's stretched and stretching the 30 minutes and stretching the. Well, I'm like, wait a minute. So, but then in the end, never could. Okay. Matter of fact, ended up having to change companies for that.
See, that's really messed up, and especially with them being sued. It's probably going to affect their bottom line quite a bit, because it looks like they've got the proof. So chances are they will have to kind of come up off of some punitive cash. But, and just in case you're not aware, SiriusXM actually is on a different kind of pay scale than streaming services, because it's actually a satellite radio. It's kind of like paying for a web broadcast anytime they use your music. So, this might have some kind of impact on their bottom line, depending on how much they have to come up off of, but just kind of something to be aware of what's going on in the music industry. A lot of times these stories can kind of have little lessons on their own. And one of them, as an artist, to see what these people are dealing with, trying to, take care of their accounts. As an artist, it can kind of be a reminder for you to make sure that you have open communication channels with your fans and anybody that might be trying to purchase something from you, whether it's concert tickets, online tickets, merch, whatever the case may be. Make sure that they can get a hold of you and actually get what they want. Keep it simple, straightforward. Don't be like SiriusXM. So yeah, in this particular instance, it's a cautionary tale and just something for you to know and have a heads up. Or even if you were thinking about using them, you might be stuck with them for a while, depending on how long you're willing to wait to cancel your subscription.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm. All right. Yeah, maybe that's how they can afford to do all that marketing and promotion, locking people in.
Yeah.
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 All right. Next up, hypnosis. Basically, they got a decline in their net asset value of almost 10% in the first 6 months of 2023. So they experienced a worrisome 9.2% decrease in their operative net asset value per share, which led its stock price to decline from, get this, $1.91 back on the 31st of March of 2023 down to $1.22 by the end of September, and then dropping even further to 88 cents per share on December 21st of 2023.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not good at all. Hypnosis said that the sharp drop was mainly due to a reduced fair value of the portfolio, which has raised some concerns amongst stakeholders because we've been sharing with you that they're worried about the value of their investments. They've been deciding on if they even want to try to continue the company. They already kind of kicked the founder out of the CEO position. So, I mean, it's been a lot going on, but 88 cents a share. I mean, that had to be hard to watch for any investor, I'm sure. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, when you wake up every morning, you don't know what's getting ready to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a risk. There's a risk if it does, a risk if it doesn't, and following that up with great service or whatever all of the important components are. Um, you just never know.
Yeah. Yeah. And then go ahead. Sorry.
No. I mean, from day one, there's a gamble.
Yeah, it really is. And for anybody that's unaware, we talk about hypnosis a lot, but just in case you're joining us for the first time or it's been a while, Hypnosis Songs Fund, owns rights to various songs. So they've got all these music catalogs, and the fact that people are worried about the value of these catalogs can kind of be something that we need to pay attention to. So, the story, one, good to share for information, but two, to dissect exactly what it means. There are a lot of other funds that are doing well. So it's not to say that this is just a general, what's the where the market's looking like it might be kind of bearish, but still just something that we need to know. So this is part of like what's happening in the industry trends, especially ones with financial fluctuations in music companies, are something to pay attention to, because changes in stock value and asset valuation can basically have like bigger meanings for the industry. So yeah, just kind of something to know and pay attention to the financial health of all these companies that are dealing with music rights, and see if there's something that's part of a bigger trend. Watch the other companies. Another one that's been doing really well is a Harbor View, and then of course, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on it, but it's kind of ran by Golnar right now. But I mean, there are a lot of them that are doing some really, really big things. But for Hypnosis to hit the ground running as hard as they did and as fast as they did, and then to see the sudden switch, it just kind of makes you curious, what's going on behind the scenes. Since it is a public company, we do have access to be able to dig deeper and see what's going on. But another takeaway could be, as an artist, if you've got stakeholders in what you do, somebody that's investing in your music, or maybe they're investing to let you be able to have a line of merch, whatever the case may be, it's really important to be clear with them on what you're dealing with, because as we've seen in this case, the stakeholders aren't sure of what's going on. So that's why they're getting nervous. And when they get nervous, the market gets nervous, and then the stock price just keeps going down, 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 down. So yeah, once again, there's some lessons and valuable information to just kind of look at up close.
Yeah, and see, so sometimes a person or a group or a company or a configuration, we've always talked about surrounding yourself with competent people that can help you ahead of time in these different arenas. Okay, so a completely different scope. Here's an example of a gentleman, an entrepreneur. Okay, he was selling barbecue sauce. Okay, barbecue sauce, people were buying it like crazy. Okay, I mean they're really buying, they're lined up buying it. Okay, so then he makes a decision. He makes the decision. Oh well, we need to open a restaurant. Boom, puts everything together. Restaurant opens up. Boom. Okay, people come to the restaurant. They're coming more than what he was set up to handle. Okay, you see, so what I'm saying here is his business grew so fast that he wasn't prepared for it. But see, in the beginning, he didn't consult consultants. You see, to forecast what could happen, this, that, the other, and in the end, he went out of business because his business grew too fast, too quickly. So, see, you never know.
Yeah, that's something that I feel like it doesn't really get mentioned often enough. How that can happen, and I feel like a lot of times when that does happen, it's just because we're already kind of taught to think small, even though you always hear dream big. But people are always kind of in your ear, like, "Oh, you should scale it back," or "There's a chance this won't work," or maybe even in your friend's case, the entrepreneur probably heard, "Well, restaurants, it's really hard work. It's probably not gonna work. You're probably gonna fail." And if you have that in the back of your mind, then you're not really planning on how to handle exponential growth. And same thing with some artists. The group Black Sheep, Drez had a documentary out recently, and their first album was such a big success that his partner, oh gosh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name, but basically they grew so fast that he couldn't deal with the pressure. And so that's why, he had kind of dropped out from the group, because, they've got all this huge success, and the friend just basically didn't know how to build upon it. And, they were way more successful than he was anticipating on being. And that kind of led to the demise. But, when he explained how he felt, it made perfect sense. And I think that that's, kind of true for a lot of people in various industries, not just music. But it's like, if you're constantly hearing all this negativity and you're not preparing for things to go even better than you dreamed, then you could kind of fail that way too. So, but hey, as long as you get back up, try again, pay attention. But I think this is probably a good lesson for all of us to just kind of take in, like, hey, it could go either way. And, just make sure that you're prepared, no matter which direction it swings, right?
Yeah, because there's traffic coming from every direction. Word of mouth spreads. So you have a good product. I mean, there's traffic. There's literally traffic jams coming from every direction trying to get into this restaurant, and it was just they didn't have enough workers. He didn't have enough. You see what I'm saying? So it just exploded so fast because the product was really good, but he ended up having to go out of business.
Yeah. So see, very valuable lesson, I think, for all of us there. Be prepared for for growth beyond your wildest dreams. What are you gonna do? Have a strategy set up as much as possible by, just as Breezy just said, surrounding yourself with people that can kind of help you plan through that.
Yes, that's right.
All right, next up, and chances are you've seen it, but Megan Thee Stallion has partnered with Planet Fitness as Mother Fitness for the gym's new campaign. And so, 3-time Grammy Award winning artist, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and health advocate. She's kicking off the partnership. Well, she did kick it off as the first performance of the new year on the Planet Fitness stage in Times Square, and teamed up with the brand for exclusive co-branded merch, with all the proceeds going to benefit her foundation, the Pete and Thomas Foundation. So, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. First of all, kudos to her for, handling that. But check out what's going on. She's got the strategic brand collaboration, and she's diversifying what she's been doing. So, I mean, as artists, that's a lesson, like, to basically take that and you can collaborate with brands for extended reach, visibility, check out your options beyond music, including philanthropy. So one, she's getting the looks from actually being on there, but she's actually doing something to help the community and as well. So, I mean, that's a really, really powerful thing that's going on. And even the fact that she's going to be the first performer for the new year on the Planet Fitness stage, that's maximizing the performance, that's increasing her visibility to, even a broader audience than she may have had before. So another tip, something that many artists can kind of take and try to benefit from on various scales. No, it doesn't have to be Planet Fitness or some major chain, but maybe check into your local gym or, whatever else you're interested in. I mean, yeah, there's so many, this could be used as a blueprint for so many different things. And, even having a connection to a charity is a good look because it's showing people what you actually value beyond music. Because when people connect with artists, it's because they connect to the person. They feel like they share some of the same thoughts and feelings and beliefs. And so, I mean, it's just really a good look all around, wouldn't you think?
I'd say so. I mean, I'll be looking for some kind of the paraphernalia or signage or whatever when I step up in there this afternoon. Normally, I get up and I'm up at 4 a.m. and I'm heading to Planet Fitness. That's a shameless plug right there. Okay, and so I got knocked out the box with all the cold weather and everything. I got tired of being out there at 4 a.m. trying to scrape ice off my car window. And so I changed up. So I'll be going there about 5 o'clock today. So hopefully I'll see some billboards or something, or posters up in place. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
so.
yeah. So yeah, I've seen the commercial a few times in a few different settings, and yeah, so I think it's a pretty interesting thing. Like I said, a good blueprint. So make sure you're taking notes. Think about who you can collaborate with, any charities or nonprofits that you care to help benefit. Like that's always a good connection to make as well. So yeah, definitely some stuff to be learned here.
Yes, that's correct. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, Spotify has pulled support for two music festivals in France as part of their protest against the new music streaming tax. So, all right, the expected 1.5 to 1.75% tax that's meant to support the French music sector via the Centre National de la Musique has caused all the major streaming services to come together in opposition of the law, including Apple, Google, YouTube, and Deezer. But Spotify has been the most vocal about it. I feel like this is just, I mean, that percentage is so small. And the fact that they want to fight over 1.5 to 1.75%, but want artists to be happy that 70% of every stream goes to us. I mean, I don't know. I got a lot to say about that I'm not necessarily going to say. But yeah, just imagine if they're that upset over that 1.5%, possibly 1.75%, but we're supposed to be okay with not receiving 30% of how they're capitalizing on artist work. Dot, dot, dot. Achickwitbeatz trails off.
Yeah, well, woe is us, woe is me, woe is the world. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. Just wanted to share that information with you guys and let the thought float out there for a minute. But yeah. Next up, the Gospel Music Association is planning a downtown Nashville museum. So it's going to be the Dove Center, opening in spring of 2025. It's going to be in the same building as the Lipscomb University's Spark Innovation Campus. The Gospel Music Association, just in case anyone wasn't aware, is actually headquartered in Nashville, so the move makes sense. And it's also the same organization that hosts the annual Dove Awards. So yeah, I think I kind of always get excited anytime there's a new music museum opening, and this makes sense. There should be one. And when I read the story, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, why isn't there one? Well, now they're working on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Every genre, globally, every genre deserves its ray in the sun. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. glad that they're taking the initiative for this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and if you haven't heard, Vinyl Records had one of its best sales weeks in December. 2.05 million vinyl albums were sold the week leading up to Christmas, ending December 21st. So, the same week in 2022 and 2021 saw 2.232 million and 2.115 million sold respectively. Check this out. Taylor Swift had 6 of the top 7 albums of the week and made up almost 10% of the vinyl sales. Olivia Rodrigo's Guts album ranked 5th, and so that's the only thing that kept her from holding all of those in a row, which would have been, I guess, a new record as far as Billboard vinyl charts go. But which was kind of interesting because I noticed a lot of outlets reporting Olivia Rodrigo stopped Taylor Swift from making history. And I thought to myself, gee, those outlets must have it out for Olivia Rodrigo to phrase it like that. I was worried the Swifties might get her. But, even the fact that the top 7 were held by women, I think is pretty interesting on its own. But keep in mind, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, actually that's cause for celebration right there.
It really is. Instead of trying to pit them against each other, that's something it's a victory, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now again, this is Billboard's information. Luminate's 2023 tracking year still has an additional week. So they are going to collect that time from December 22nd to the 28th. And so, once we get that information, we can share what the final numbers were. But since that week includes like more shopping days, people using gift cards on vinyl, it could have been a whole lot more that went on. So, yeah, it's just a first look from Billboard. And yeah, I think those are some pretty interesting statistics.
There's a tag along with that, in my opinion. I'm going to do some research. You can't just buy the vinyl without having the appropriate equipment to use to play it. Okay, so I'm gonna do some investigation on equipment sales. Okay, I guess I can date myself if I just use the term record player or turntable or whatever. I mean, so if the sales are going up on vinyl, then that means there's some equipment being sold to convert that vinyl from the vinyl to your ears.
But potentially, I believe it was back in June when we talked about it. So these might have been like the mid-year results. Apparently, 50% of people who bought vinyl at the time didn't have a way to play it. They were just buying it. So yes, what you said makes sense, and that is how most of us think. Because I was baffled when that actually came out, but at the same time, not really, because if the vinyl's actually treated the way that it should, sometimes it can be a work of art in itself. Just appreciating the album cover or being able to hold it in your hands. I don't know, but 50%. I think I would have been surprised to hear that 25% didn't have it, but to know that half the people that buy vinyl have no way to play it. They just want it. So maybe those numbers have changed. Maybe things have, especially since that article came out. So, it's already been another 6 months or so since then. So but tell us what you find, because I'd like to know if that changed. Because although I'm glad people are buying the vinyl and connecting with it that way, it would be great if they could actually play it. So let us know. Report back.
Yeah, and now conversely, you just never know. I mean, if an artist stands on stage and says, and if they have a great following, strong following, and if the artist makes a statement, hey, go out and buy my album, boom. I mean, snap of a finger, consider it done, and consider the ages of the folks too.
Right.
Okay? Meaning, there might be some 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olders in there, and they don't have that equipment. But they
Mm,
got the album, just like, but they can hold the album in their hand, just like you're saying.
right.
We never know, but I'm going to dig into it.
Yeah. I'd be interested to know. All right. Angami's subscriber base has grown 17% in the third quarter of 2023 to 1.73 million. And so remember they're focused on the MENA region. And so yeah, with that increase, they saw their adjusted revenue grow 8% compared to the same period in the prior year to $30 million, and its gross profit margin increased 22% from 12% the year before. So there are people that are interested in using it, obviously, because they're signing up in droves to do it. So as a independent artist, one of the things you should keep in mind, and we say this anytime we've got these stories like this, explore these markets where this is happening, where you're seeing these streaming companies kind of get ramping up over there. Hey, make sure that your music is there too, where they can check you out. Make sure that your distributor can get your music to all these various platforms, so that way you can take advantage of some of this growth. So yeah, just kind of some interesting tidbits, and once again, something that you can do to help the music industry news benefit you.
Hey, yeah, yeah, most definitely.
All right, last step. There was a report where they're saying clubbing just isn't cool in the UK anymore, and a lot of the people for New Year's Eve decided to switch to either warehouse or home parties instead of going out the way that they used to. So, several UK music industry insiders cited different factors like collectively contributing to the changing dynamics of the industry. So, they say there's been a shift in audience behavior and preferences influenced by both the pandemic related circumstances and basic evolving societal trends. So, of course, with people having to stay home, there was a shift, and we kind of talked about this a little bit last week that people kind of got used to live streaming and they enjoyed it and want to continue doing it if they can enjoy things from the comfort of their home instead of going out. The digital space has gotten better. There's been more artists that have kind of adapted that. And so now with these opportunities, again, people are just opting to do it because, one, you don't have to pay for parking. Drinks are probably cheaper if you're going to, all those little things kind of add up. And of course, the economy being the way it is. And another thing that they had also noticed was that, yeah, some people would prefer to do the whole festival thing instead of shelling out money for maybe smaller live music acts, because they're saying it's basically the social media effect. They're wanting to record events that they've seen other people get traction for. So instead of going to see a local band, maybe they're going to save up for when Taylor Swift comes, or Beyonce or somebody else, because these are these shared cultural experience moments that have been happening on social media. And so if that is one of the contributing factors, oh my gosh, that's that's definitely something that we might kind of have to take into account as independent artists, and maybe seeing if there's more ways to kind of team up to get with some larger acts, or maybe even more festivals, because people want more bang for their buck. If they're going to spend the money, they don't necessarily want to do it on just a handful of artists. They also want something that people recognize, well, their audience on social media will know as well. So these are definitely some trends to keep in mind, and as a part of your strategy for any growth that you want to see. So yeah, once again, I think this might be one of those situations where we might have to look at it a little bit closer and actually take some time to dig deep to discuss it, because this could have a huge impact in general. So yeah, definitely something to be aware of. You have any thoughts to add to that?
Wow. I mean, there's a lot going on. Most definitely, it's coming from all kind of different directions.
Mm-hmm.
So, you sit back, and absorb all of the data that you just gave, or the situations that you just gave. What's influencing this, what's influencing that, these different factors and whatever. But the bottom line is, um, that phrase, the powers with the people. So it's the people they're switching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean that's no matter what we say, you know, the statistics are showing that the people are switching. So
Yeah.
I guess they can take a bunch of folks in there and try to investigate why, which has happened. But you know, if they want to go to the larger uh, uh, outlets and opportunities, that's you know, hey,
Yeah.
if they're saying the clubs aren't cool, well, the economics, you know,
Yeah.
people get tired.
Yeah.
Shoot,
It's a
you know,
lot of factors. Yeah. If you look at it all together, all that stuff ties in. And one of the biggest downfalls of the music industry was ignoring what people were saying when they were downloading music in, the turn. Oh gosh, yeah, I'm admitting that I was born in the 1900s, but at the turn of that from 99 to 2000, when my MySpace was, all the Kazaa and some of those other places where people were downloading, that was the people speaking. They were tired of being ripped off. You spend all this money on an album, you get maybe one or two good songs, you get frustrated after a while. So that was the people saying, hey, no, we're more interested in the good stuff. Music industry didn't listen, still just kept doing the same thing. And then, you see it tanked until we're forced to deal with the Spotify coming along saying, hey, well, at least with me, at least you get some pennies. You weren't getting that beforehand. So, yeah, I mean, these shifts happen. And this is one of those times where you need to pay attention to it and not just close your eyes, bury your head in the sand, and hope it changes. Hey, let's figure out some strategies around this so we can still get paid and keep doing what we love to do.
I heard that.
Right, man, that time flew by. That
It
does
flew.
it. Yeah, that does it for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, we thank you for joining us. Thanks to our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Atlanta, Georgia. Do you have anything to add before we close out?
No, man. I mean, I'm just excited about the new scene, the new year, and so let's get it.
All right, you know where to find us. Till next time, tune in, tell a friend. We'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.